Hello Libra, welcome to your 2016 astrological overview. I'm Taylor Cole, your personal astrologer. So we have a lot going on this year, a lot of interesting cosmic events taking place that are not normal. They're not frequent or usual. Usually there are 4 eclipses that take place, and this year we have 5. So that's where I'm going to start. I'm going to talk about the eclipses just because they tend to give an overview or a general theme for the year. Alright, so the first eclipse we have is happening in Pisces, and it is a solar eclipse, which indicates a beginning, a new start in a certain area of life. This eclipse is happening in a part of the sky that for you is all about routines, health, daily work. It's kind of the structure, one of the structure areas of life. And it is speaking to Jupiter. It's directly opposed to Jupiter, and it down to the very degree. So so here's the eclipse. Jupiter's right across. Then it is also speaking to Saturn. So Saturn is going to be right in the middle of the eclipse, Jupiter, and then Saturn's right in the middle. So it's going to be kind of a wake-up call as to some new health routines you need to take, or you're going to be starting new routines and new work routines, health routines, due to an understanding of where you've been slacking, where you haven't been taking care of your responsibilities. You're going to be gaining an understanding of really some self-sabotaging behaviors that you've been doing that you might not have even been aware of until this eclipse happens. So that's going to be Jupiter's involvement, and then Saturn's going to give you this whole added discipline that you'll need in order to make these changes. And 2 weeks after that eclipse, we're going to have a lunar eclipse, which lunar eclipses are all about endings, releasing of things. This is going to be in your sign, actually. So the moon's going to be in your sign, the sun is going to be in your opposite sign. This is going to be involving you and your partner. You are likely going to be seeing the need to change some of your behaviors in order to make a relationship work. You might see that you have not been entirely fair, which as a Libra, one of the things you value most is fairness, harmony, balance, and you might notice you haven't been entirely true to your own nature, and you might see the need to change a bit in order to make a relationship work. You know, sometimes it's wrong to change yourself for the sake of a relationship, but sometimes if you're in a relationship, you do have to realize where sacrifice is needed in order to make it work. This also can be related to business relationships, not just romantic. It can be related to your closest friendships as well. So don't assume that it's necessarily going to be 100% related to romantic relationships. We also have a second round of eclipses that are going to happen a little bit later in the year. Starting August 18th, we're going to have a lunar eclipse. This lunar eclipse is happening in a part of your sky. It's going to be happening in Aquarius, which is a part of your sky that has to do with what is fun for you, what brings you joy in life, what you're creating, what you're spending your creative energy on. And that's where the moon's going to be. So the sun is going to be over in this other part that's all about your big picture dreams. It's going to be it's about your social circle as well. So I do see the potential for a lot of Libras to be considering the need possibly to sacrifice a little bit of what they find fun in order to really make a true effort, have a real go at making their dreams come true. Now, it might not be like, oh, you can never have fun again. It will likely just be re-evaluating what you consider fun and making changes and realizing that maybe that is fun, immediate gratification-wise, but it's not necessarily gonna bring me long-term happiness. So those sort of subtle changes will be necessary and will be taking place. Then 2 weeks after that eclipse, we have a solar eclipse happening in the sign of Virgo. So this is a beginning happening in the sign of Virgo. Virgo is the sign right before your sign and has a very under the radar subconscious energy to it. You're going to be looking inward and finding new ways of tackling some subconscious issues you've been dealing with, finding routines that contribute to your inner calm. So you're not looking for this calm to take place from external factors. It's going to be finding a way to stay at harmony and at balance strictly within yourself. So that's going to be right around September 1st. 2 weeks later, we have a lunar eclipse, which is going to be in the opposite sign of the solar eclipse I just talked about. So it's in Pisces. This is going to be a call to change some of your routines, some of your daily habits in a way that brings you a greater state of calm. So this might be realizing where, yes, routine is necessary in general, but this particular routine that I'm engaging in, this need for structure over here is really just a distraction from some internal stresses that I have. How can I eliminate the need to be super control freak about my environment? How can I eliminate that need to control everything around me and just find a state of peace inwardly? So that's what that's about. This is very much a year of finding internal peace, finding where it is that you've been relying on external factors to bring you peace when you really should have been looking inward. And this is going to give you the opportunity to find that inner peace that is rooted simply in yourself, and you're not going to be looking anywhere else for it. So those are the eclipses. We also have 4 Mercury retrogrades happening instead of the usual 3. The first one is happening at the very, very beginning of the year, January 4th to January 26th. In the sign of Aquarius is where it starts, but only for the very beginning of the retrograde, and then it moves into Capricorn. This is very much about, so it's going to start by being about the joys of life, and it's going to be in that part of the sky that we've talked about a little bit in this video. It's what brings you joy. But then it's going to move into a part that is all about like your most inner self, your home life, part that the public doesn't see, but maybe your family sees. You're probably going to be reconsidering what it is that you find enjoyable and reconsidering how it is that you live at home. So maybe you're going to be considering ways to bring joy into your home life. Maybe you're going to be thinking about what it is that you do at home for fun, what brings you joy at home. It also, unless of a material world way, it's going to be about your inner self again. This is one of those the parts of the sky, we call them houses. This is one of those areas of the sky that is very much internal. It has an internal element to it. So this can be a realization of where maybe you are not entirely happy on a very inner level. So making little subtle changes around your home and in your home life to bring you this inner state of happiness. It also could be that you are considering making some changes on your home. So we're back to a practical level, material level. Making some changes on your home to incorporate more of what you enjoy in it. So this could be anything from thinking about installing a home theater or game room, or putting in more art around your house that just makes you happier. All of these things are very much a possibility for you. Then we have the next Mercury retrograde, which is happening from April 27th to May 23rd in the sign of Taurus, which is in a part of the sky for you that is all about digging deep, just like getting down to the core of a situation. That's one aspect of it. It also relates to the resources and the support that you're getting from other people or organizations or from external. So the external support. This can be money that you are getting from a relationship. I don't mean in a gold digger kind of way, but when a relationship becomes so close that you two become financially linked, this part of your sky relates to that financial link. So you're going to be reconsidering any sort of shared resources. You're going to be reconsidering what it is that your partner is bringing into the relationship versus what you're bringing into the relationship. you're going to have a focus for sure on mutual resources. You're also going to be reconsidering investment opportunities possibly. That could be it. You know, you might be thinking of ways to make money that sort of are not your standard paycheck, but are making you money in the background. So savings account is one way. Loans are also part of this, guy, so you might be reconsidering a loan. You might be considering some sort of pension plan, or stocks have a sort of a relationship with this. You might be considering a business venture that relies on like you and someone else too. So investments of that kind. Not the time to invest, really, not the time to do any major purchases, but definitely the time to be thinking it over, considering it, looking over the details, so that when Mercury is in a better position after the retrograde, you can start to implement some of your thoughts and plans. The next Mercury retrograde is happening in the sign of Virgo from August 29th to September 22nd, and this one is one sign before yours. So this is yet again another very subconscious inner workings energy. You're going to be rethinking some things that maybe you didn't want to look at. You're going to have the space to consider some matters that you've kind of let them slip under the radar. That's a possibility. It could also be that things that you didn't know at all, some very unknown matters, maybe some secrets are coming to light. Someone's been trying to keep a secret, and now they slip up and it comes out. Could be you've been trying to keep a secret, and now you are going to want to watch to make sure that if you want to keep that secret, you're going to have to be extra careful, because there's a tendency to have things just kind of slip out when Mercury is retrograde in this part of the sky. So do be aware of that, and if it does slip out, it probably was supposed to. Just know that. All right, and then the last retrograde is from December 18th to January 9th, and it is starting in the sign of Capricorn, working its way back into the sign of Sagittarius. This is all about, well, it starts out being about your home life and your roots and your foundation as a human being, really. And it goes back into part of the sky that has to do with what you think and what you know. It's the data. It's like the way you think, your mental processes, has to do with your siblings, neighbors, so your environment, your local environment. It covers a wide range of topics. But you may find that you are considering new ways of learning, new subjects to learn. You might be dealing with, so you might have a sibling that is in some way in your living space more. So you might actually find yourself living with a sibling for a while, or your sibling comes and lives with you for a bit. Could be that you are considering moving to another neighborhood. It could be that you're considering and reconsidering, especially, things that you learned in childhood that have just been, you've taken them as fact. So this is a time to really consider what it is that you think you know. It's time to consider your relationship with your siblings. It's a time to consider your living space, and if you like where you live, not necessarily just the home, but the neighborhood as well. All of those topics and questions should be asked right now. So those are pretty much the main themes that you're going to be seeing play out over the next year for 2016. Of course, if you continue to watch the monthly horoscopes or read my daily or weekly horoscopes on my website, taylorcole.com, I'll go more in depth and recover these events as they play out to keep you updated and posted on what's going on. I do love interacting with you, so comment, like, share, all that is very much appreciated. You can do that on my website, Facebook, Google+, Twitter, and I try to get back to you as soon as I can. Usually, for sure, it's always within the day, so please do keep the comments coming. I so appreciate it. And I hope to see you again for the January horoscope that's going to be coming out later on this month. So stay tuned for that. All right, enjoy 2016, and I'll see you soon.